All right, hey, good morning. This is Noel, and welcome to another day. Um, yeah, uh, I don't know, kind of slow going. Um, Picked the girls up at the airport like 10:30, 11 last night. So up late doing that, and then uh, yeah, just thinking everything I gotta work on today, and 5:30 came early this morning. So there you go. So we all right. Uh, Today is Mark 15 and 16, so it's finishing up Mark, which is pretty cool as far as finishing up these first two books of the New Testament. Um, Mark 15 and 16, or like I said the other day, yesterday. Uh, Probably two of the most important chapters. You know, for Christians. So anyway, we'll go ahead and jump into this, and yeah. So here we go, Mark 15. Early in the morning, chief priests and the elders and teachers of the law and the whole Sanhedrin reached a decision. They bound Jesus, led him away, handed him over to Pilate. Are you the king of the Jews? Asked Pilate. Yes, it is as you say, Jesus replied. The chief priests accused him of many things. So again, Pilate asked him, Aren't you even, or aren't you going to answer? See how many things they are accusing you of? But Jesus still made no reply, and Pilate was amazed. Now it was the custom at the uh, at the feast to release a prisoner who the people requested. A man called Barabbas was in prison with the insurrectionists who committed murder in the uprising. The crowd came up and asked Pilate to do uh, for them what he usually did. Do you want me to release you to the king of the, or do you want me to release to you the king of the Jews? Asked Pilate, knowing it was out of envy that the chief priests had handed Jesus over to him. But the chief priests stirred up the crowd to have Pilate release Barabbas instead. What shall I do then with the one called King of the Jews? Pilate asked them. Crucify him, they shouted. Why? What crime has he committed? Asked Pilate. But they shouted all the louder, Crucify him. Wanting to satisfy the crowd, Pilate released Barabbas to them. He had Jesus flogged and handed over to be crucified. The soldiers led Jesus away into the palace and called together the whole company of soldiers. They put a purple robe on him, then twisted together a crown of thorns and set it on him. And they began to call out to him, Hail, King of the Jews. Again and again they struck him on the head with a staff and spit on him. Falling on their knees, they paid homage to him. And when they had mocked him, they took off the purple robe put his own clothes on him. Then they led him out to be to crucify him. A certain man came from Cyrene, Simon, the father of Alexander and Rufus, uh, was passing by on his way in from the country, and they forced him to carry the cross. They brought Jesus to the place called Golgotha, which means the place of the skull. They offered him wine mixed with myrrh, but he did not take it. And they crucified him, dividing up his clothes. They cast lots to see what each would get. It was the third hour when they crucified him. The written notice of the charge against him read, "The King of the Jews." They crucified two robbers with him, one on his right and one on his left. There we go. Those who passed by hurled insults at him, shaking their heads and saying, "So, you are going to destroy the temple and build it in 3 days? Come down from that cross and save yourself." In the same way, the chief priests and teachers of the law mocked him among themselves. "He saved others," they said, "but he can't save himself. Let the Christ, the King of Israel, come down now from the cross, that we may see and believe." Those crucified with him also heaped insults on him. At the sixth hour, darkness came over the whole land until the ninth hour. And in the ninth hour, Jesus cried out in a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," which means, my God, why have you forsaken me?" When some of those standing near this, they said, "Listen, he's calling Elijah." One man ran, filled a sponge with wine vinegar, put it on a stick, and offered it to Jesus to drink. "Now leave him alone. Let's see if Elijah comes to take him down," he said. With a loud cry, Jesus breathed his last. The curtain of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom, and the whole centurion who stood there in front of Jesus heard his cry and saw how he died. He said, "Surely this man was the Son of God." Some of the women were watching from a distance. Among them were Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James the younger, and of uh, Joseph, Jossus, I don't know, and Salome. Um, in Galilee, these women had followed him and cared for his needs. Many other women who had come up with him to Jerusalem were also there. Sorry. It was preparation day. This is the day before the Sabbath. So, as evening approached, Joseph of Arimathea, a prominent member of the council who was himself waiting for the kingdom of God, went boldly to Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. When he learned that, uh, when he learned from the from the centurion that it was so, he gave the body to Joseph. So Joseph brought some linen cloth, took down the body, wrapped it in linen, and placed it in a tomb cut out of the rock. Then he rolled a stone against the entrance of the tomb. Mary Magdalene, Mary, mother of Joseph, saw where he was laid. All right, 16. One second, I'm going to fix this thing. All right, it's getting a little sideways. Okay, 16. When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome brought spices so that they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early on the first day of the week, after sunrise, they were on their way to the tomb, and they asked each other, "Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb?" But when they looked up, they saw that the stone, which was very large, had been rolled away. As they entered the tomb, they saw a young man dressed in a white robe sitting on the right side, and they were alarmed. "Do not be alarmed," he said. "You are looking for Jesus, the Nazarene, who was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. But go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you to Galilee. There you will see him, just as he told you." Trembling and bewildered, the women went out and fled from the tomb. They said nothing to anyone because they were afraid. When Jesus rose early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, who out of whom he had driven 7 demons. She went and told those who had been with him and who were mourning and weeping. When they heard that Jesus was alive and that she had seen him, they did not believe it. Afterward, Jesus appeared in a different form uh, to two of them while they were walking in the country. They returned and reported it to the rest, but they did not believe them either. Later, Jesus appeared to the 11 as they were eating. He rebuked them for their lack of faith and their stubborn refusal to believe those who had seen him after he had risen. He said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. Whoever believes and is baptized will be saved, but whoever does not believe will be condemned. And these signs will accompany those who believe. In my name, They will drive out demons. They will speak in new tongues. They will pick pick up snakes with their hands. And when they drink deadly poison, it will not hurt them at all. They will place uh, they will place their hands on sick people, and they will get well. After the Lord had spoken to them, he was taken up into heaven, and he sat at the right hand of God. Then the disciples went out and preached everywhere, and the Lord worked with them and confirmed his word by the signs accompanied it. That was Mark 16 and the whole book of Mark. Uh, yeah, you know, uh, we've been through the Matthew and now Mark with Jesus' arrest and crucifixion and all that, and just you know the brutalness, the cruelty, I guess, of just humans. Um, and we think that kind of stuff, uh, stuff we would never do to somebody. The other thing it talks about in um, Mark 16, um, where it gets down to Jesus talking, what, like 15 through 18. But it talks about, and these will be accompanied, these signs will accompany those who believe in my name. They will drive out demons, speak in new tongues, pick up snakes with their hands, and drink deadly poison, and it won't hurt them. Um, I'm not sure what all Jesus is getting at there. I mean, um, um, I don't know that he's saying something literal or metaphorically or what, but um, I know like those verses are used a lot for uh, different sections of the church. Uh, and one that's just I don't know. My experience is out there. But have you seen? There's these churches that use this. They'll pick up snakes with their hands, and drink deadly poison, and it won't hurt them. And these jokers, have like rattlesnakes in their church, and they're like dancing around and handling these snakes during church and all this mess. Um, I don't know. It just I don't know. I don't really feel like it's literal. Um, you know, And that's what I mean. Like, it goes back to the whole legalism thing. Like, yeah, you know, church feels like they should have snakes and poison in there. Um, you know, because this verse says that it's not going to hurt them. But you know, they're not going to, cut off their one hand if it causes them to sin, or gouge out their one eye if it causes them to sin. I don't know. It's just this one church I saw that was doing the whole thing with snakes. Um, it was like documentary type deal or whatever. And the pastor, the current pastor of it or whatever, um, does all the snakes, whatever. Well, him and his, I guess, brother or something like that had started the church. Well, his brother got bit by a snake and died. You know, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't. How you come up with this? Um, I don't know. It's just humans, man. They're just like totally special. Yeah. I mean, well, tomorrow we're gonna get started in Luke, and yeah, that'll be pretty good. Uh, keep moving right along. Uh, quite a bit of work to do today, I think, but it's normal day. Yeah. Then have a start a new men's group thing for this evening, and we'll do that. And I don't know, still trying to get ready for winter. Um, you have property and all this stuff to take care of. There's always a lot to do before winter. Um, but thankfully, we're at the end of October in 2025, and it hasn't gotten too cold or anything yet. So, uh, yeah, still have a little bit of time, finish up some things, and uh, should be okay. But anyway, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.